they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us to carry us forth out of Egypt? Now, it's very interesting here, the children of Israel's mindset, okay? You ever see people that are kind of, and I've been here before, very negative in their mindset and seeing nothing, glass half full. And so they say something ridiculous in 11. They said, is it because there were no graves in Egypt? Like, are you colluding with them to kill us easier in the ocean? Rather, like, what? Where are they doing that at, right? Think about the mindset, but you have to also think about there was 400 years of slavery, right? So they're in a enslaved mindset, which, side note, the first slaves came to the U.S. in 1619. 2019 is coming up. So if you want to keep going by the African-American title, that's fine, but I need you to understand who you really are. That'll make sense in a second. Okay. So, so now 12 then says, is it not the word that we spoke to you in Egypt saying, leave us alone that we may serve the Egyptians? Leave us alone. So that means that when Moses was saying, God has given me a word to bring you out, they actually told him, leave us alone, man. We ain't trying to deal with that. We don't want to go there. How many things in our lives are we telling God, man, just leave me alone. Let me have this. Let me have this. I don't want to let it go. He's saying, no, I'm trying to bring you out. No, God, I'm good. I'm good right here. This is nice. I like being in the middle lane. All right. Verse 13. But Moses said to the people, do not fear. Oh, okay. Come on with it then. So if you're confused on what to do, be still. There's nowhere to go. Be still. Stand there and understand that if you are still and you see the salvation of the Lord, it is a forever thing. God is about to bring us out of some stuff forever that we've been dealing with for a long time, for most of your lives. He's saying, if you sit still, I'm going to bring you out forever. Now, here's the kicker, and we'll end right here. 14. And I actually had something else, but God said we're going to keep going with almost what we had last week. The Lord will fight for you while you keep silent. Here's what God gave me, man. This is, again, we have to keep silent, but here's the part that really did something for me. There are some things. And if you notice the 400 years they went through and the 400 years we're going through, if you notice the growing pains that we in this country have been going through over the past few years, it is not by chance. There are some things that is simply because the Lord says it's time. Period. And we are in a season. See, there's some seasons where you got to fight and you got to go through some things. And some seasons where he's just got to pull everything out of you and you're in the valley and all this stuff. This is the season for our people. This is the season for the people of God. This is the season where he simply says it's time. And when the Lord says it's time, there is nothing you can do about it. So you might as well get excited. You might as well begin to move in what God has called you to move in, because it's time. It's time for you to come out of what you've been in. It's time for you to come out of the same old thing over and over. Not because you're good, not because you deserve it, but simply because it's time. God is looking for a people that will get excited and just look up towards heaven from where their strength comes from and says, Daddy, if it's time, here I come. Because guess what? You ain't going to be able to stop it either way. So you might as well get in line and understand where God is taking us right now. Get excited as a